Diabetes is a serious and chronic condition that affects millions of Americans. November is National Diabetes Month, an annual awareness campaign aimed at educating the public about diabetes prevention and management. Join me for this amazing series over the next month as we walk through this devastating disease. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the cost of diabetes. What are the actual numbers? That's what we're going to spend some time tonight discussing. Thank you for joining me. This is Dr. Dwayne Wood, that's Wood with an E. Here on this channel, I help to educate, I help to empower, and I help to encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, and go to that next level. So glad that you're here. You have seen it. It's in the news. And the more you hear, the more you listen, the more you see, there are more drugs, there are more complications. Everybody's talking about diabetes. And what are the actual numbers? You know, we've been spending a lot of time talking about other things that are in the news, right? The pandemic. We've been talking about COVID-19. But before COVID-19, diabetes was here. And diabetes is not a respecter of persons. What does that mean? That means that there is no age, there is no gender, there's no, diabetes doesn't care. It can affect anyone at any time. There are some risk factors that we're going to talk about. But yeah, if you're male, if you're female, whether you have money or not, old or young, diabetes can affect. There are 37.3 million people in the United States that have diabetes. If we look around the world, there are actually almost 500 million people. That's 470-ish million people around the world that suffer from diabetes. And if we believe the statistics, that's 1 out of every 10 persons in the United States that has diabetes. And the sad fact is that 1 in 5 don't even know that they have diabetes. If we think about prediabetes, which is a condition where someone has a blood sugar that's higher than normal, but not high enough to be considered diabetes, there are about 96 million people around the country in the United States that have it. That's 1 in 3. Wow. If we combine those two numbers, then we're talking over 100 million people that are diabetic or pre-diabetic and that are at risk for complications such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, blindness, kidney disease. We'll talk about some of those as we get into the month, but those are some devastating disease processes. If we think about the map, right? And that's what I'm showing you right now. The map that shows the correlation between our weight, that's on the left, and diabetes, beginning in 1994. And I want to orient you to this map here for a minute. The lighter the colors, the less diabetes there is in that area of the country. The darker the colors, the more diabetes there is. And as we walk through, I'm going to go through these maps, stopping in right around 2015, 2017. But I want you to watch those colors. The darker it is, that's the more diabetes. Here we go. 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. I want you to look at those, right? 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those numbers. Look at the colors. And after a while, yeah, look at that. And this one just kind of gives a summary, right? So at the top, we're talking about our BMI. That is how much weight we've put on. And at the bottom, we're talking about diabetes. And look at how it correlates. As our weight has changed as a country, so as the incidence of diabetes. And then the big question, right? What is the actual cost of diabetes? And here it is. The total medical costs of lost wages. The total medical costs and lost wages. 327 billion. That's B with, right? That's billion with a B. B as in boy. Medical costs are more than twice that of people without diabetes. And the risk of death is 60% higher than for patients who don't have diabetes. If we look at an average day, every day there are over 4,000 new cases of diabetes that are diagnosed. 810 people die from diabetes. 230 people with diabetes will have a diabetes-related amputation. 120 new patients will require dialysis, and 55 will go blind. That's an average day. Now, all of these numbers would seem that this is a disease that has no hope. But that's the good thing about what we're doing this month. November is National Diabetes Month. And I invite you to join me in raising awareness about this issue. Diabetes is a chronic condition, and it affects millions of people around the world and in the United States. It can cause serious health issues like heart disease, strokes, kidney damage, like I mentioned before. But it can, if we are educated and if we take steps, we can prevent diabetes, and people who currently have diabetes can live a long, healthy life. My goal is to educate you about this disease so that we can come together and promote prevention, early diagnosis, and treatment. So send this video to somebody. Let them know what we're going to be doing over the next month. Find a family, a friend, some coworker, someone in your circle, and invite them to subscribe to the channel. Tell them that this is going to be an amazing series. What we're going to talk about, we're going to be talking about lots of different things. Come on back for the next episode. This is Dr. Dwayne Wood. Glad that you're here. The cost of diabetes is high, but we can prevent it, we can treat it, and we can have long life. Thank you for being with us. Glad that you're here. Good night.